唔使理佢嘅，佢就係同黨嚟。
你唔好亂講嘢喎，八婆。
吓？你叫我八婆？都好耐冇人咁樣叫我啦。唔係以為我唔知啊？你頭先同嗰個人打眼色眉來眼去咁，你着西裝得噶啦，咪做你樣衰咧，差唔離身啊
！From Deep Focus World Headquarters in Sleepy Hollow, New York, I'm Bryant Fraser, and this is Audio Commentary.
你哋如果唔跪喺度認錯，唔使知離開呢度。
Today I'm looking at a fight scene from one of the greatest martial arts movies ever made, Drunken Master II. It stars Jackie Chan as the Chinese folk hero Wang Fei-hung and Anita Mui as his mother. In this scene, he's fighting for a stolen purse, which, like many objects in Jackie Chan movies, becomes a useful prop. Drunken Master II is also a broad physical comedy. Watch how Anita Mui catches the purse after she calls for Jackie to return it. And, of course, look at how graceful yet powerful and precise Jackie Chan's moves really are. Now I want to talk about source material. What you're looking at here is a video capture from an old Mei Ah Laser Disc from Hong Kong, which is still, believe it or not, the definitive video version of this film. Dimension Films released it in the US under the title The Legend of Drunken Master, but it's slightly edited and its audio elements have been completely replaced. I don't like dubbed films in general, and I think dubbing an Asian action film especially hurts its reception by a US audience that already regards dubbed movies with condescension, as if it's the Hong Kong filmmaker's fault that the English tracks are lousy. At any rate, I thought it might be interesting to look at the ways that the new soundtrack changes this film. We're still listening to the original Hong Kong version right now. The music playing here is a variation on a famous Chinese song called On the General's Orders, which has been used in so many films about Wang Fei-hung that it's become a kind of signature for cinematic depictions of his character. So let's back up and see if we can hear how this important cultural reference has been translated for US audiences. Let's hope it's not cheesy chop sake music. Ugh. Well, at least it's not kung fu fighting, right? And these sound effects sound a little meatier than they do in the Hong Kong version, which could be a good thing. But let's take a closer listen. This time, try to hear how each sound effect works rhythmically, especially in counterpoint to the musical score from the Hong Kong version. Here's the original version, followed immediately by the American mix. Wow, did you hear the difference? Well, maybe not. Let's get more granular, and I'll count the beats for the sake of comparison. Here's the first 8 beats of the fight in Hong Kong. Okay, 8 beats. Now let's listen to the American version. So in 8 beats in the Hong Kong version, we have 5 beats in the American. The sound effects editing dictates that, although the fights look the same, they don't feel the same. The Dimension version of the film is largely uncut, but it second guesses the original filmmakers in important ways. The Wang Fei-hung theme has been ignored completely, and the rhythm of the fight scenes has been altered. That's very important. As an aside here, coming up, the picture is going to switch back to the Hong Kong Laserdisc, and you may notice that the Dimension Films image is not as wide as the original Laserdisc transfer. Okay, what's happening here is Fei-hung's mom is encouraging him to drink wine because that enhances his skill in drunken boxing, or zui chuan. In the real world, of course, guzzling wine before a fight is a good way to get your ass kicked, but this is movies. The problem here is Fei-hung's dad has forbidden his drinking out of fear that he'll become an alcoholic or worse. But his mom fears the reputation of the family's gymnasium will suffer if Fei-hung doesn't dominate his opponents. Now I'll be quiet for a minute as the fight choreography and editing speak for themselves. badass, right? Now I need to back up because that's such a great scene, and it's another good illustration of the American sound mix, frankly, falling flat. Here's a quick clip of the Hong Kong version, then the American. Pfft, come on. This isn't even the most impressive sequence in the film, not even close, although it has a comic flair that I like a lot. Here, Fei Hung asks his mom what he's drinking. Her response, she doesn't know, but it has a cross and a zero. Fei Hung says, good wine. Okay, here's my rant. Drunken Master II is an important film. It's a significant contemporary Hong Kong film, and it's a key martial arts film. It's standard practice for foreign language films to be released at least on DVD in the US, with the option of listening to the soundtrack in the original language. But for some reason, Dimension Films decided not to extend that kind of courtesy to Drunken Master II. Maybe it's purely a money issue. And, when it came to foreign films, the Weinsteins never exactly had a reputation as purists. But there's something galling about knowing that they had the good taste to acquire what's probably Jackie Chan's best film, but they didn't respect his work enough to offer it in its original version. To this day, there is no unedited, undubbed, widescreen version of Drunken Master II on DVD anywhere in the world. Okay, back to the action. I'm no expert in martial arts, and I should probably apologize for all the Cantonese martial arts terms whose pronunciations I've mangled here. That's to say I can't comment on the historical context of Jackie's moves and skills, but I know that he's an endlessly inventive performer and a physical comedian in the tradition of Buster Keaton. His understanding of physical space, the widescreen frame, and the most ideally staccato pace of action scenes for film makes him unparalleled, I think, among filmmakers of his generation. And he's just a joy to watch. And here's the arrival of Fei Hung's father, who's not at all pleased to see that his son has been drinking. I keep referring to this as a Jackie Chan film, but he's not listed as a director, so there is some question of exactly who is responsible. The film is credited to director Kar-leung, who is himself a famous teacher of Hung Quen, a martial arts style derived from Hung Ga, a discipline in which the real Wong Fei Hung, who died in 1924, was a master. But Lau left before the film was finished. As the story goes, Lau was a stickler for authenticity, but Jackie wanted to update some of the fights to a more contemporary style. Eventually, the two had a falling out on set, and Jackie took over as uncredited director for the remainder of the fight scenes. But Lau's stamp remains on the film, and he even appears to fight Jackie in this early weapons fight scene set underneath a train. So Drunken Master II really is a great film, and it's a tragedy that you can't find a decent version that preserves the intentions of the original creators. As a parting shot, here's the final scene that was cut from the Dimension Films release, in which we learn that Jackie's drinking has left him brain damaged. Even some of the movie's hardcore fans think it's in poor taste, so enjoy, and thanks for listening.
老爺啊，個黃綠醫生嚟㗎，少爺唔單止俾酒精燒壞對眼啊，仲燒壞埋個腦添啊！
皮蛇婆。